Welcome to my channel, guys. Today I'm just going to do a talk through for this video. I'm doing my favorite bronzy flawless look, and I'm just going to start with priming my face. I'm using a self-adjusting primer to get rid of any red pigments around my nose, and then I'm going to go in with my usual favorite Laura Mercier Radiance primer. And I'm actually going to mix that with a little sample that I got from NARS, and it's a NARS liquid bronzer. I'm actually really loving it so much that I'm going to go and purchase it next time I'm at Mecca, which will most likely be tomorrow. I'm actually mixing that with my primer all over my face. So I really love a bronzed look. It's a look I've gone back to for many years, so it is actually my signature look. I'm also putting that down my neck as well, just to make sure that the colours all match. And now I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Pro Brow palette just to fix the ends of my brows, to fill in any gaps before I go in with some concealer. Today I'm using a new concealer by Bare Minerals, which is the Bare Skin. It is a beautiful, creamy, soft concealer, and I love using it because it's actually got oil in it, so it doesn't dry your under eye area. If you've got really dry under eyes, it is a great concealer. I'm mixing it in with a super light shade. I'm using a foundation by MAC. It is the Studio Fix Fluid in the shade NC15. You guys know I'm an NC42, so it's heaps lighter than my usual shade. The reason why is because I don't just want to conceal under my eyes, I also want to highlight that area. So I'm going in with a really light shade and mixing it with the concealer. Another reason why I like to mix foundation in with my concealer is because I like my under eye area to have like a really nice skin texture. I hate that dry, cakey makeup look that you get under your eyes, and because that's the driest part of my face, you know, it just kind of always stands out. That's also one of the reasons why I don't put a lot of powder. I'm actually going to blend that all out with my beauty blender, just because I find that the beauty blender or the Real Techniques blender, whatever one you want to use, I find that that technique just gives you more of a flawless finish. Next, I'm priming my eyes with a Urban Decay eyeshadow primer in the shade Eden. And the reason why I'm using such a light shade is because I'm going to use a highlighter on my brow bone. And then on my eyelids, I'm actually going to use a darker primer, which is the shade Caffeine, and I'm going to smudge that on my lower eyelash line as well. The reason why I'm using a primer that is pigmented is because it's going to help the pigment that I'm going to use when I put eyeshadow on. I'm only using one shade today. This is my absolute favorite signature look. I actually prefer to use 1 or 2 shades of eyeshadow when I'm going out, not only because it saves time, but because I don't feel the need to use so many different shades. Keep it simple and it just looks so beautiful. It's just not necessary to use so many eyeshadows. Not saying it's not fun. I do like to play around with 5 or 6 different eyeshadows. Next, I'm just simply contouring my lips. So what I like to do with my lips is overdraw the center of my lips so it appears as though they are bigger, which gives you more of a pout. However, when I go to the outer corners, I bring the contour color down into my actual lip line so that I'm not overdrawing my entire lips. Now, it does look a little bit crazy. It is a pretty dark shade. It's the Charlotte Tilbury contouring wand. I'm going to do my whole face in this shade, but this is just to give the appearance that I have bigger lips, and it will all come together in the end. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Now, to contour my face, I did put too much cream on, and the reason is because the wand you're supposed to twist and then squeeze, but when you do, it's such a soft, creamy, blendable product that it all just came out onto my brush. Like I literally put it onto the buffing brush straight away. I should have put it onto a plate, but never mind, not to panic. It is such a nice, beautiful, creamy texture and it blends really well. So I'm going to buff it all out. So if you do buy this product, don't panic if you accidentally put too much on because it's all blendable. I'm going to put a little bit on my nose and do a little bit of nose contouring as well. I'm not going to put a ton and make the lines too harsh. And I'm also going to buff it out as well and put some foundation over the top, because it doesn't matter who you are. I just think anyone who contours their nose too much just looks ridiculous. Like, it doesn't matter what makeup artists I've seen do it in the past, they all look crazy. The key to contouring is to take your time and buff it out really well. You guys are going to be so surprised at how much foundation I use. I'm using Giorgio Armani's Luminous Silk Foundation, and I'm only going to use one pump. I've pumped it on a little glass plate, and I'm just dipping my Sigma flat kabuki brush in on the plate and just dabbing that around on my face. Now I am going to cover a little bit of the contouring cream, which is no big deal because it's still going to shine through, and when I bronze later, you'll notice that I won't need to use a ton of bronzer. It's all part of the plan. That's the way it's supposed to be. That contour cream shines through, which is why I concealed first and then I went in with the contouring cream and the foundation last. So instead of packing on a ton of foundation like I would normally do, or like anyone would normally do, I've done it backwards. Concealer first, contouring second, and just a tiny little bit of foundation last. If you have dry under eyes like I do, always make sure you put minimal amount of powder on. I'm using a translucent powder to set my face before I go in with any highlighters, blush or bronzing powders. Remember, before you put those pigmented products on your face, you want to put a translucent powder, because a pigmented product sticking directly to foundation is going to be very tacky and it's going to leave blotches of bronzer on your face. So just cover it up with a minimal amount of translucent powder first before going in with a really nice deep bronzer. After setting my face, I'm going to skip the rest of it and go straight in and do my eyeshadow. And as I said before, I'm only going to use the one shade, so I'm using the Morphe 35R palette, and I think I've only used this like maybe 5 times. It looks a bit damaged because Roman actually got to it with a makeup brush. It kind of scratched the eyeshadow. He gets to all my makeup, which is why I don't actually have makeup in my bedroom anymore, like it's in a bag. I know, it's so sad, it makes me so depressed not having makeup in my actual makeup table, like in my makeup drawers. It's not set up the way it used to. It used to look so beautiful. It's in literally a travel bag. So it makes me very depressed not seeing my beautiful makeup every day. I'm just putting that on the outer part of my eyelids. And I literally forgot to buff out my contour on my lips. So you guys are probably thinking, when is she going to do this? It wasn't supposed to be a lip liner. It was just contouring, remember? After I contoured my face, I did go over it with foundation, so I'm just grabbing a little tiny bit of the excess foundation that was on the glass plate and I'm covering contouring on my lips, and now it looks like I have naturally big lips and it looks like I have a natural lip line. Finishing off my eyeshadow, I'm actually going to use a gold, which is the Glistering in the Soft Glam palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. As I mentioned before, only 2 eyeshadows, so the brown and the gold. Again, my absolute favorite look that I've been doing for many years. Definitely is my signature look. Now it's time to bronze, and I'm going to use a Too Faced bronzer in the shade Chocolate Gold. And as I mentioned before, you can see a little bit of the contouring under my foundation, so I won't need a ton of this. You watch, I just put a little tiny bit and it stands out so much, which is why I like to contour underneath. Don't forget to always put powder all over your face before you go in with any pigmented bronzers or blush. So before I put Laura Mercier's translucent powder just under my eyes and down my T-zone, that's just to get rid of any shine, but then I went in all over my face with Lancome's Absolute powder. I used the Becca Champagne Pop highlighter by Jaclyn Hill, but then I decided that I actually wanted to use the Huda Beauty palette, so I'm going to go in over the top with that.
I can't find my way back to you until you make amends with the demons you've been through. And I can't regret leaving you alone until you find your way back home.
After applying my blush, I'm just going to go in and put my mascara on, some eyeliner, and just fix up my brows. last of all, I'm going to use the MAC Strip Down Lip Liner. And then I'm just going to smudge that on my lips. Followed by a MAC lipstick in the shade Creme de Nude. And a Kylie Cosmetics lip gloss in the shade Glitz. And then once my glue on my lashes have actually dried, I'm just going to spray some setting spray. I'm going in with the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray.
Until you find your way back home.
That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this bronzed everyday kind of signature look of mine. It's a look I've been doing for many years and I will continue to do it. I do switch it up a little bit, but it's pretty much roughly the same look that I do all the time. If you did like this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
I can't regret leaving you alone until you find your way back home.
No, there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I be moving fast. Call me a shooting star.